Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Julian and G.K podcast. Of course, I'm your boy Julian. As always, got my man G.K, but this week we got a special guest. We got our boy, Matt Awesome. This man has worked with legends. We're talking about Savio Vega, Amazing Red, Homicide. Like, he's trained with TNA World Champion Mike Santana. He's worked for House of Glory. This man is legit here. Legitimate professional wrestler. Happy to have you on the podcast. How you doing, Matt?
I am doing great. Thank you for inviting me. Finally, guys.
Yeah, we've been talking about this.
For all the years I've known you guys, and now finally I'm sitting here with y'all to do this.
Yes.
And I've been doing this wrestling thing now going on my 10-year anniversary now this year.
Yeah.
So, man, finally.
See, perfect. It lined up perfectly with your anniversary.
Yes.
All right, so this week, the topic is the best WrestleMania matches of all time. This is daunting because, we're about to go into the 42nd year of WrestleMania. This episode, we're going to do matches 10 to 6 because there's just so many great matches to talk about. We got to talk about it. We got to let it breathe. We got to talk about why we chose these. So that's why we're going to do 10 to 6 this episode, and then we're going to have another episode where we count down 5 to 1. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to let the guests go first. So, Matt, my man, what is your number 10 WrestleMania match of all time?
Of all time. So, do you want me to dig in the crate now? Or do you want me to save the digging in the crates for later?
You do whatever you want. You want digging the crates now?
Do it all, right man. DVD, VHS, Blu-ray.
So I'm just gonna throw it out there, and I know you guys are gonna look at me like, wow. Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage, WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, yes.
Technical plus storytelling. But the craziest thing was the finish of that match. Think about it for a second. Everybody goes over crazy with either last ride, 1, 2, 3, or choke slam, 1, 2, 3, tombstone, 1, 2, 3. No, roll up, a small package, 1, 2, 3, from Steamboat, clean, which is again one of the by far maybe one of the greatest WrestleMania matches they say. But then again, a lot of people could beg to differ for that one. So what do you guys think of my pick for number 10 now?
Hot start.
Listen, that's for years, like, that was the WrestleMania match. I remember growing up and they were like Steamboat Savage. Like, that's the match that everyone talked about as the WrestleMania match. As we got into later years and there were more and more classics that were starting to pile on, that's when it kind of got a little bit left to the background. Still talked about a lot, but not as prominent as before. But I mean, that's a great pick. You can't go wrong with Savage Steamboat. That's a classic.
You really can't. It established the importance of work rate for the biggest show. That's my main takeaway from it. I mean, Hogan and Andre brought the house, as they say, but that match steals the show.
Absolutely.
So got nothing against that.
Nah, can't. All right, GK, what's your number 10 pick?
Oh man, you only ready for this? All right, first I feel like I should make my criteria clear.
Okay.
Off rip. All right, so these are what I rated it on: rewatchability, high stakes, physical and emotional performance. I'm an actor, so if you can cry, you got me.
Yes.
The sixth man, the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can make or break a mania. I was at WrestleMania 20. I was there to help make John Cena. Look at that. I'm in the crowd when he's freestyling. But also we poo-pooed Brock and Goldberg. So the audience really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Presentation, entrances, just basically, do I and can I get others to feel like it's a big damn deal? So it's got to be WrestleMania worthy.
Okay.
So my number 10, even though I'm more the moments guy, I still need a match that from start to finish just tells a very simple story and just tells what wrestling is, even if you don't know who the wrestlers are before you go into it. So I think a good example of that, I think it's going to be a controversial pick because it's too modern.
Yeah.
I'm going 2023 WrestleMania 39. I'm going with the Intercontinental Championship triple threat: Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus.
Yes.
It's just a good old fashioned UK Euro brawl. It's a very easy storytelling. It establishes who Gunther is because he's the young pup of the three. I've always said if we were doing a top 10 of put them in any era, any promotion, people will get it. Sheamus is top 10 easy for me.
Yep. You
see it, you get it. And Drew, and that was the beginning of Drew, finally figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it's just a hard hitting match. So I snuck that in at 10.
Okay. I mean, listen. I love that match. So there's no when that match first happened, I must have rewatched it like 5, 6, 7 times. It is a masterclass. So yeah, I definitely agree with that one. My number 10 pick is also a modern pick. I was debating this between this one and my other spoiler. It's not going to be on my list. I was going between this one and Brett versus Shawn at WrestleMania 12 because that's the Iron Man match. That's the one. So and I really wanted to put that at 10 because I love that match. But this one I feel like is very recent. It's very modern, but I felt like it stole the weekend and it just showed how far the women's evolution has come. So my number 10 pick is Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky at last year's WrestleMania 41, because that match was phenomenal. It was it showed. I felt like it was the encompassing of all the work that the women have done for the past 10 plus years to get that respectability. And to me, I felt like they had the best match of the weekend last year. So that's why, and I have to give them the number 10 spot. Bianca, Rhea, Io, triple threat, WrestleMania 41.
Highly agree on that one.
Yeah,
I'm going to save y'all some time. That's my number 9.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
We just go right into it, just like
that wasn't even on my list.
Yeah, because if you look at Bianca, you get it.
Yeah.
If you look at Rhea, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
And Io was the whole storyline. Io is the glue, and it's just a phenomenal 5-star match in ring. I told you my whole thing is how can I get other people into it?
Yep.
You can't over explain it. You gotta you gotta give them the context. It's all about the presentation, which I think WWE does better than damn near any entertainment genre.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, it's still the wrestling still has to be the main selling point, and these queens get down. It's all it is. So let's keep moving. So that's my number 9.
I was getting tattooed during that match during the WrestleMania watch party. I actually got that chair tattooed.
Nice.
Wow.
So
during that match,
you're getting a tattoo while watching the classic. It don't get better than that.
Amazing.
Don't get better than that. So we'll skip over you, GK. We know what your number 9 is. So Matt, what's your number 9?
All right. So number 9. I'm going back to WrestleMania 10.
Okay.
And that's going to be the ladder match.
Ooh.
Razor and Shawn.
Okay.
That match to me was such a great storyteller. It told, it's what drew me into wrestling more, that match. Mm-hmm. Not to the sense of, I want to do that. No, I don't like ladders. I don't like heights sometimes.
Yeah.
But it made me want to probably try that one day.
Yeah.
And just the ending, the finish of that match.
Oh, beautiful.
This is just an iconic photo.
Yep.
To me, we learned who HBK was. We learned who Razor was. And, the fans brought it for that match. Yeah. That card was actually a really good Mania too.
Yeah.
But from that whole show, that was like the most iconic match.
Yeah. I mean, no disagreement from here. I mean, the ladder match is iconic. That's what started. I mean, there have been other ladder matches before that, but not really well known. They were mainly done in Canada. They were done at house shows. So this was the first mainstream ladder match. And I remember, if you go back and watch them out, the crowd is reacting like these men are going to die. Yes. They're freaking out because they're just seeing them fall off this ladder and whatever, because they've never seen anything like this before. And it's and the fact that it's held up that well over the years, it's been 32 years since that match happened, and it still holds up very well. It's still immensely replayable. So yeah, I mean, great pick.
If you go back to what you said, GK, about it being the 6-man, the 6-man was very strong in that whole match.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that pick.
If you get it. Yeah. This is where I started to take my little hiatus from being a full-time watcher of wrestling. So I always came back for the Manias.
Yeah.
But then the Manias just kept looking less like the grandest stage of them all. Mm-hmm. We'll get to it when we get to our best Manias of all time. Mm-hmm. But that era of number 10 is in Madison Square Garden. Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But from 11 to 16, it's not because, they were spread thin financially, with their wars with WCW and everything. Yeah. So they really downgraded the venues for WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania is a stadium thing. So when they were doing it in arenas where it was looking like in your house.
Yeah.
You know, it was just different font.
Yeah.
You know, it was, you know, like that takes away from some of it from me. And I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get the ladder match at the time. Yeah. It wasn't even that I was out of touch. It's like they were pushing the envelope way before people were in on the envelope needs to be pushed. Because I was becoming a teenager at the time. And you're thinking, and when you're that age, you're thinking everything that you know as is always going to be that, and nothing changes. Yeah. But then, like, you know, like when you watch the NBA, athletes retire. Like, you're not even thinking, like people get traded. You're not even thinking about any of this stuff. So when it comes to wrestling, and if you had cable, you know, like I luckily had, you had WWF, you also had WCW, you also had ECW, you also had GWF. You know, like you had all these things, like, you know, it was, you know, you had WCCW, you had all these.
Special enough, we could try to find all Japan.
You had all these options. So it was, and a ladder match was just unlike anything else that we'd ever seen. So I didn't get it. They proved themselves right, given the direction that wrestling needed to take. But at the time, I didn't get it. Like, why are you changing the only thing I know to work? You're like, you don't even have the intellectual concept to think maybe it doesn't work anymore, or maybe everything can't stay the same. You don't know that yet. I was 12. So I missed the mark on that. That's why I don't have it in my top 10, even though I know it's one of the 10 greatest matches. I know that. Yeah. But from like a sentimental, you know, nostalgic value, and I missed it.
Me, it was because I was a fan of both guys.
Right.
I love both guys so much. Like, if I was going over my top favorite wrestlers, Shawn is always up there, number 3 for me, and Razor's like around 5 for me. Yeah. Because that match solidified more of a reason why I was such a fan of them. Because they were charismatic. They had this aura about them. So in that match, too, kind of like if, for the anime lovers, when you watch the show Baki, they have this aura of fight. Each person in the show, each character in the show. So that's what they had. They had this aura about being the strongest creatures, and they had this like charisma that you could not deny. So for them to take it to a different style of a match that's never really been seen like that, mainstream, it was something that a new taste for your palate, basically. Yeah. And look at how far the ladder match has gone since that iconic ladder match.
They were right. Yeah. They were right. I wasn't anti the match. I'm like, I didn't get it. And that's what I thought the audience was doing. I didn't know. It didn't come off to me like the audience was in awe. Like they enjoyed it. Like to me, the audience was like, "You guys are just as confused as I am." That's
to me. They were like, "Oh my god,
yeah." Like that's how I took it. Yeah, that's how I took it. Like it sounds like this is more like your Hogan Warrior. You know what I mean? Because like that's the match that I'm not gonna say it drew me in. I was already watching, but that was like, this is the biggest deal in the planet. That's what, because you know I wasn't into anime. I wasn't into comics, and this is why me and the Marks. You know, like this is why I can't really sit at y'all's table, because I'm more about the wonderment of real life superhero looking dudes like Hogan, Warrior, Warlord, Natural Disasters, Legion of Doom, etc. I look back, they could barely move. Yeah. I look back, they could never do yoga or Pilates. I look back at that now. I know that now. But back then, the whole thing, like, you know, being this big and then you pulled your trunks up like past your navel, you know, Cody Jericho style, was commonplace. I didn't know.
Because then you got into the new generation right after that.
Right.
You got into like the Bretts, the Shawn.
Right. And I always loved Brett. But Shawn, once it became clear that like Shawn was going to be the new generation, the new direction, I'm like, the blonde mullet with the chaps posing for Playgirl, like, yo, Shawn won me over immensely. Like I can make it argue, I enjoyed his comeback second run more than his 90s run. Like I'm probably in that rare camp. Yeah. But the dude posed for Playgirl.
Listen,
I mean,
Shawn Michaels was a pretty man.
But
he was the prince of wrestling.
Right, but he was he was the first time in at least my wrestling life where like, oh, just because they say he's the coolest doesn't mean he's the coolest. Doesn't mean you got to follow it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Hogan was cool. Warrior was cool. Macho Man was cool. Yeah, he was too popular not to be cool. You know what I mean? Like,
Holy was cool. Terrible is another
Yeah,
story.
yeah. That's a different podcast. Yeah, Piper was cool. Like you know, like these guys, like these guys were cool. But like you know, Sean. Like what is what am I doing? Like what is it? Like it's
we have one of the best managers to back him at around that time too.
Oh, I'm not knocking his work. I'm not knocking his work at all. I'm not knocking that at all. But you know, until we were crotch chopping, it wasn't cool to be Shawn Michaels at school.
That was like one of the best runs.
You know, but you know what I mean. But like, but this mid '90s
later around WrestleMania. I know we're gonna get to.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Okay. My bad.
I feel like we're gonna have a whole.
Yeah, my bad.
We're gonna have to have one just about Shawn Michaels and the second.
My fault. Sean, you're a goat.
Yes. Shawn Michaels is a goat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, Sexy Red shouting him out. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
So,
listen, he got NXT.
Yeah,
he got views.
Yeah, NXT lit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when people say Shawn Michaels, I think you.
Yeah.
I know there's another Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Who has some notoriety.
Yeah, but no, there's only one Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you're my Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Respectfully, even though the other one was a trailblazer himself.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah.
An incognito.
Mr. Higginbottom.
Yeah.
Sorry for the shoot.
Yeah.
Mr. Higginbottom.
Not safe for work. Don't look that up. But anyway, we're going to get back on track now. Number 9. My number 9 is between, funnily enough, we were just talking about Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is in this match. And another legend's in this match. I'm talking about Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21. This was a technical masterpiece. This was a match that people had been kind of clamoring for as soon as Shawn Michaels came back. When he came back from his back injury, and and people were like, "Oh, could we see Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle? Could this be a possibility?" And they held it off. They held it off for like 3 years. They kept them apart, and then they finally got together and they did exactly what we thought they were going to do and gave us a 5-star banger. Just an amazing match. The highlight of WrestleMania 21. Just like I could watch that match on repeat. Like it's so good. Even like all these years later, 20 years later, it still stands up. Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. My number 9 pick.
That's a good one because it showed two eras clashing, but it was more of a can Shawn really still go against Angle?
Yeah, it was a machine at that point.
Exactly. He wasn't perk Angle yet.
Nah, he wasn't perked up yet, but he was still.
But he was a beast. Like
yes.
I was a Kurt fan.
Yeah.
More after when they allowed him to do more of the comedy.
Yeah.
With the truck with the milk, amazing.
Yes.
But when him and Shawn locked up, oh my god, that was like magic.
Yes.
To me,
it was so good.
Magic.
I love that match. But all right,
no notes.
No
notes. Right? Yeah. The storyline was a stretch.
Yeah, the storyline was.
But the in-ring was great.
Yeah, of course.
There's some matches that the storyline doesn't need to be that good. It's like I just want to see these dudes in the ring.
Yep.
I just want to see them fight each other, and that was what that was. So,
yep.
Yeah, I don't even remember the storyline. That's like how unmemorable it was, but I'll remember that match forever.
Yeah.
So, all right, GK, we're gonna go to you because you had shorted on number 9 since I was my number 10. So, what's your number 8 pick?
See, I know none of y'all are gonna have this, so I think this is gonna explain more me in a nutshell. So whatever a nutshell is. So the Ocho slot I was gonna do for my celebrity match because I really feel like a celebrity match should be there, but couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, especially since my favorite celebrity match of all time will always be WrestleMania 24, 2008, Floyd Mayweather versus The Big Show.
You love that match.
But I said in the last podcast that match should have never happened.
Yeah.
And Big Show should have never agreed to it.
Yeah.
Of course, he was going to lose if he agreed to the match, but he shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place.
But it was entertaining.
So that last shot. So spoiler alert: Floyd wins, and it's undefeated for a reason. And but that last shot of a sad Big Show in the ring, it's too real to me. Yeah. It hurts me too much. So that's why I can't put it there. But I will put a match from WrestleMania 24 in that slot, and that is where I will put the career match of Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. It is.
That was on my list. Yeah.
That storytelling is top notch. It's easy for anybody to get. stroke of brilliance by Vince, giving the storyline of your next match that you lose, Rick, you have to retire. Why it had to be that way, don't know. But once we found out, now we knew. And we talked this before. I don't play fantasy booker. I want to go along for the ride. So there's nothing in my mind, even though Rick is being inducted into the Hall of Fame that same weekend. I'm not thinking he's done. I'm not thinking he's going to lose.
Yes.
I'm going along for it. And to know, I mean, I guess not to know Rick personally, I don't know. But like as a fan, to know Rick is to love Rick. I still think that he is, whether you have him as the greatest or not, that's debatable. I think he's one of the most beloved.
Oh, yeah.
And his whole family's there in the front, like all his kids, a soon-to-be Charlotte Flair, his son Reed is there. And he's so vulnerable. Whenever Ric Flair cries, his tears are real.
Yeah.
But what gets me about the match is Shawn. He doesn't want to put him out.
Yeah.
No. But he has to. And the whole, I'm sorry, I love you, depending on how you feel that day, it could be corny, it could be great. But you know what gets me? When he pins Rick, before they can even get to 3, Rick is already crying. Yeah. And once that final 3 is down, Shawn starts crying and grabs him by that, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so, it doesn't get any realer than that.
Yep.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Rick coming back to unretired for TNA does not take away from me at all.
No.
So I think it's, and even if you knew nothing about Ric Flair or Shawn, the match works. That's my what are we, 8?
Yeah.
That's my number 8.
Fun fact, I was wearing a Shawn Michaels shirt that night watching it at a friend's house, and he's the hugest Ric Flair fan. The moment he tapped down 3, he came up to me with a pair of scissors and cut the shirt down the middle. And I'm like, bro, really? He was like, you wore the wrong shirt tonight. I'm like, you're lucky I have a backup. So I put on my backup shirt, which was an Edge t-shirt, because I'm an Edge head.
Yeah. The respect for Rick, man, and the way Shawn bumped for Rick, man, it was oh man.
Listen, that match is like, when you talk about, GK, you always talk about like matches that like kind of transcend like wrestling, and like that anyone could watch it and they could get it and they could pick up on it. And that's one of those matches, like, my wife Jen, my beautiful wife Jen, who has had to endure my wrestling fanhood, like, for, however, like, the many years we've been together. And, like, to the point where now I've sucked her in and I've made her come to wrestling shows with us. And she loves it. I remember we were watching that match, and when Rick got pinned, she started to cry. Like, and she's not even a big wrestling fan. But it's, like, because of the emotion of the match, it made her emotional. And it's like, you could be anybody, you could watch that and it'll make you emotional, because it's just, you're seeing a man who, this is all he's loved is wrestling. This has been his lifelong dream, is to be a wrestler. He never wants to quit. Like, even though everything is saying you need to quit, you are old, you cannot do this anymore, like, but in his mind he's like, I'm still as good as I was when I was in my 20s and my 30s. I'm never going to stop. And he still was great. So don't get it wrong. Even, that's the thing, even Ric Flair into his 50s was better than a lot of people in their 20s and 30s. Like, he still was at a phenomenal level, but it was just like, it was time. And Shawn had to be the one to put him out. And, oh, God, the storytelling of that is amazing. So, I mean, great pick. I love that pick.
Speaking of time, since we're in a real studio, we're on the clock, so we have to kind of blitz through 7 and 6.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna go through it. So let's see. Let's number 7. Matt, why don't you give us your number? Well, oh wait, I didn't get my 8. Let me get my 8, because and you didn't
honestly,
give your 8.
my 8 is that match.
Wow!
Oh, wow!
So,
there you go.
And again, like, that was hands down one of the best matches. And I lost my shirt that night.
Yes.
In the sense of, he was like, if he loses, you're losing something. And I'm like, Rick. But I knew I was gonna lose a shirt. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. It came free when I bought the Shawn Michaels DVD, so it's fine.
Exactly.
And of course, where did I get that DVD at? Yeah. Where I Met Your Wife.
Yeah. Oh, Best Buy.
Best Buy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that shows.
That's how I met Matt, is through my wife, my beautiful wife. Jen got all the connections. Listen, we're gonna have her on the podcast one day. I'm gonna bring her on here, and you're gonna finally get to see her beauty and her humor. And why I'm in love with her.
As I became her Best Buy brother. I was a brother in arms working.
Yes.
So the day she brought her mom in, she was like, look, your illegitimate son. I'm like, hi, Mom.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
You were hornswoggled?
Yeah.
Word.
All right. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with Rick versus Shawn. My number 8, like we've already discussed, it was Gunther, Drew, Sheamus at WrestleMania 39.
Wow.
Like, I love that match. Like I said when GK mentioned it, I love any match with big dudes just beating the crap out of each other. It's like I love it. Like I love all styles of wrestling. I love the flippy stuff. I love people just like bashing each other in, and that match was just 3 big dudes just knocking each other around, and I love it. Big meaty men slapping meat. That's what
I was waiting for you.
Yes, that's
I wasn't gonna say it.
Listen, I had to say it in honor of my boy Big E. Like
Better you. You're married.
I can get away with that.
Yeah.
So let's do number 7. Matt, why don't you start us off? What's your number 7 match?
Let's take a break for a second. Yeah, because he was.
No. We gotta go. We got it. We're going to 6. We're going to 6. We're going to 6.
We're gonna go 6.
Yeah, we're going to 6. We got it.
My 7?
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, 7. We got it.
All right, so my number 7. Let me go into this one. So let me see what I got here. Even though he's been like, they shadow some of this man because of the outside antics of what he did. Still, WrestleMania 20, Triple H versus Shawn versus Chris Benoit.
Yeah, you're right. We should have took a break.
Listen. It was an elite triple threat structure. Because like nobody else can touch. Like honestly, I see you, but
I was there.
You can't take away the man's talent. It was a great match.
I can.
Listen,
I have.
And it had the most emotional finish because look at the iconic photo.
Yes.
Because look who won earlier that night.
Yes.
My GOAT.
Yes.
And Guerrero won
Yes.
earlier that night, and they had that emotional moment.
Yeah. Listen.
Of course, it didn't last so long.
Yes.
For reasons.
Of course.
But at the same time, that's one of the greatest matches. And again, coming from somebody that does it, structure-wise, the match was great. I know you have a lot to say.
Yes. I know GK has a lot. I'm saying before, I'm going to let GK stew in it for 2 seconds. I'm going to just say this real quick. Matt, I 100% agree with you, and which is going to give GK more reason to be upset. And I know what he's going to say. And yes, it's like the crimes of the person can take away from their achievements. There's why I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore. There's just certain things I can't do because it's like there's just certain things that like once I know what type of person you are and what you've done, I can't enjoy it. So that triple threat match, it's like, am I going to watch it like I used to watch it before everything happened? No. But if we're talking about the match itself and take away all the other structure of it, there's not a better triple threat match in the history of wrestling. It's the best triple threat match of all time. Like when you talk about like Joe, Daniels, and AJ at in TNA, and there's been a ton of amazing triple threat matches in AEW and in ROH, but that's the best. The triple threat at WrestleMania 20 main event is the best triple threat match of all time.
Despite who's in it.
Exactly, just despite who's in it. Like Matt said, the structure of it, the way that they played it, oh my God, the near finishes, the false finishes. Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing. So
it has a stigma to it because of what happened.
It has a stigma. If I'm being honest, if it wasn't because of the stigma, this would probably be a top 3 WrestleMania match of all time. Yes. That's how good the match is. But I will shut up and I will now let GK stew and say its piece.
Oh yeah, I want to hear this.
It does matter who's in it. Hindsight matters. WrestleMania 23 hair versus hair match. Yeah, it was entertaining. But in hindsight,
you can't watch that one again.
Rewatchability, man. This is why I feel so bad for everybody on the Cosby Show, man. Anyway, but my number 7 is from the same card. I was there, and I know none of y'all have this, and this is where y'all can. I want the smoke, all right. And I'm not a prophet of the streets. I want just pure entertainment value. It's a big deal. You can watch it, you can get it, and then in hindsight, you're like, wait, that was him? Mm-hmm. They were in it? The throw-in match of Evolution versus the Rock and Sock Connection of 2004. It is so entertaining. It's Batista's the 5th wheel.
Yeah.
But look at him. What? Whoever didn't get it back then, y'all were wrong. But if you watch it in hindsight, you get it. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to the respect and the reverence of Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. He carries that match.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
to the point where like The Rock is like, you got it, I'll follow you. Randy was so green, but Randy still looked like Randy, and that's a young Randy, and and Mick. I mean, who doesn't love Mick? So it's such a great match, man. So yeah, that's my number 7. That's my number 7. Did we do our number 7 yet?
Yeah, we're gonna do number 7. We're gonna take a time out real quick and be right back with the rest of our picks.